Imagine Ben does not have a gi. He does not have a gi. He doesn't even have a t-shirt, which you shouldn't be fighting someone without a gi or a t-shirt, because it's just, especially if, you know, a lot of problems. I'm just not going to talk about that today. Just trust me. But if you guys hear he's got no gi, no t-shirt, and I want to finish the fight, I can't grab to there's nothing to hold on to. So I would do the Mata Leao choke, which is called the rear naked choke, or otherwise known as the lion killer, right? So the idea here, I'm using my arm to hug around his neck. My left hand sneaks behind, my hand rests on my tricep. I squeeze my elbows together to finish the submission. So before I show you that choke in detail, let's talk about how the choke works. There's two ways. There's a choke and a strangle. In Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, everybody calls everything a choke, even though that's not technically true. A choke is when you crush the windpipe. So if I had a baton, I put it around his neck and pull back, I would crush his windpipe. If I put my forearm on his throat, grab here, pull into me, I crush his windpipe. That's a choke, right? He's gonna stop breathing because I crushed his windpipe. A strangle, and that's what a rear naked choke is. It's a misnomer. It is cutting off the blood to the brain by blocking the carotid arteries on the side. So it's actually technically a strangle technique. So the way you want to think about it, your right bicep is going to push on the carotid artery on the left, on the right side, and your left forearm is going to push on the carotid artery on the left side. So look, I keep my hand loose like a wet towel. I push my right bicep into the right side of his carotid artery, my left bony part of my wrist under the left side of the carotid artery here. Getting nice grip, trying to touch my own shoulder with my thumb. So what Ben should feel is the pressure on the side of the neck, not the front. So your partner should be able to comfortably breathe here. So step one, loose arm, wraps around. Step two, right, my second hand is gonna track my rear hand. I'm just gonna hide my arm behind his head and grab my own tricep here. Once your hand is hidden behind the back of the head, you're not pushing this forward, right? I don't want to force his neck into my arm. I'm just hiding my hand here like this. So step one, loop the head. Two, track the second hand behind your partner until you hide your arm. Now from here, all I do is I bring my elbows together and expand my chest forward until he taps. And it should be because he's getting lightheaded. Stay here, Ben, but just for the sake of example, look, my right hand, loose noodle, goes in this way. Step two, my second hand tracks behind the head. And what I don't want to do, I don't want to do this, because this is going to force his neck into the top of my, or the front of my arm, pushing his trachea into the crook of my elbow. That's not what I want. I don't want to force his trachea down. What I want to do here is to take the space between my left part of my arm and my shoulder and make it close. So when I'm here, I just hug everything tight. You see how that space where his neck is disappears. So that's the secret. Step one, insert your first hand, lining up your bicep and your forearm to the carotid artery. Step two, hide your hand behind. Step three, you're bringing your elbows together and expanding your chest by doing this type of motion, right? So I'm here and I'm pushing my chest forward, bringing my shoulders back, like I'm hugging someone. So putting everything into action, and I'll demonstrate somebody else in a second. Step one, loop your hand around the neck. Step two, slide your opposite hand behind, rest your hand on your tricep. Step three, bring your elbows together, expand your chest forward until your partner taps. There's more details, but these are the details I want you to start with first. All right? So I'm hanging out here with my partner. Now, communicate with your partner. Like for instance, if I start to do this, right, and you feel the pressure and you tap, if he felt it all in his neck, it's okay for him to say, hey Paul, listen, you didn't have the carotid artery, you actually were pushing on my throat here. I don't think that's what the rear naked choke is about. Like, right, you know, talk to your partner. So I'll be like, oh man, so sorry about that, let me do the correct way. So I want to put my right bicep on the right side of the neck, my rich or bony part of my forearm on the left side. So instead of going shallow grip, I'm gonna put deep grip. See how I'm reaching? I'm exaggerating the motion so you guys could see it. So he should feel the pressure on the sides of his neck, not the front. So this is step 1 complete. Step 2, second hand sneaks behind his head, and he'll tell you right now, I'm not pushing on the back of his head, right? He's feeling kind of comfortable here. Step 3, I'm gonna start bringing my elbows together and pushing my chest out. And he should start to feel like he's getting lightheaded to tap, right? And you could wait a little bit. If you're not getting lightheaded, just hang out, let your partner slowly adjust the pressure, right? So one more time. Step 1, noodle hand, like a wet towel. Step 2, left hand sneaks behind the head right away. Step 3, bring your elbows together as you push your chest forward, and your partner's gonna tap you to let you know that you did the move correctly. Let's get those 3 steps first, and then we'll add the finer details. 1, 2, 3.